Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Rock Roll. Alright, it's Sunday, it's my second day off this weekend, and I'm going to go back to the apartment today and do my last live stream over there, but I got a couple of things I want to do around here. First thing I want to do is I think I want to put the lights in the garage. I got to remember that tomorrow is moving day, so I can't get too much into a project that's going to span multiple days, because tomorrow I'm not going to be able to do it, and if I've taken part of the house apart in order to do whatever the project is, it won't work out too well with the moving tomorrow. So I think if I can put the lights up in the garage, I think that's something I can do in one day. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult, and it's definitely something that needs to be done. Now, I'm not 100% satisfied with how I originally planned it, and so I'm going to kind of only put it up temporarily. What I wanted to do is put a switch on there that, because I'm just going to plug it into that outlet next to the garage door opener to power the lights, but the problem is the plugs on the lights are grounded, and in order to create the only switch I've been able to find doesn't have a ground pin on it. So I originally planned on doing that, but I don't think I want to do it that way. So I got to figure out something else. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug it directly into the electrical outlet, and I'll just turn it on, turn it off by plugging it in or unplugging it until I figure out some way to do the switch better. But we'll work on that, and that's something that'll just kind of have to think about for a while and figure out how I'm going to deal with. Now, as for the cats getting used to their cat room, they're a little bit squeamish about it. And this morning when I came in, went looking for them, they actually were hiding out in the bathroom. Now, I've actually managed to get them up onto the shelves, or at least convinced them that this is where their room is, because they went up here on their own. But I think until they get a little bit more comfortable with this whole place, I think I'm going to spend the next day, or so with them locked in the room. I'm going to keep the door closed in here just so they get a little bit more comfortable with this place and start associating this as their room. Because, I built this big nice room for them, and if they're going to sit and hide under the toilet in the bathroom, that kind of defeats the purpose of having this. So I also got to deal with something else today. These guys decided to get revenge on me for moving them into a new house by using one of my laundry baskets as a litter box. So I got to do a little laundry, and it was you, wasn't it? You were the one that did it, aren't you? I just know it is, because you're the one that would do that. She's too nice and too dainty to do that, but that's totally something you do, isn't it? Yeah, look at that. That is the face of a guilty cat. Now also, because it's Sunday, this is the day I've elected to be my cleaning day of the pool. So I kind of looked in this thing last night and noticed that last week's chlorine tabs had all but dissolved. So I got to put 3 more chlorine tabs in here. I got to shock the pool again, and we're still working on clarifying the pool. It is looking a lot better, but I'm going to keep doing that, and we're doing it twice a day now. So I think that's going to have a huge impact. So let me get all the chlorine and all that stuff put into this. That'll take just a few minutes. Alright, so the first thing I did with the lights is I actually took them out of the boxes, unpacked them, hooked them up just to make sure they all work. Like I said, one of the things I really liked about this light system is that you can daisy chain them together. So there's the power cord for this one. You plug in the next power cord, go to this one. Plug in this power cord, go to that one, and so on and so forth. They're all down the line. So basically I only need to have one outlet to power up to 9 of these lights. Now I'm only using 8 because that's what I figured I'd need in the garage. Now the nice thing about these is that these are LED lights, so they use a very small amount of power. They're about 35 watts each. So total, what are we looking at? 280 watts total for the whole thing. And for that, each one of them is going to produce 3,200 lumens of light for, like I said, 280 watts. Same number of, to get the same amount of light from like fluorescent bulbs, it'd be twice that power. So these are really, really energy efficient, and they throw a bunch of light, just a total whole lot of light. See what I mean? It just overwhelmed the camera for a minute. You can see how it lit up the ceiling. Yeah, these things throw an enormous amount of light. So I'm gonna go install them. I think what I need to do is go get some eye hooks from Home Depot, just so I have something to drive into the ceiling, and I'm gonna get some drywall anchors because these things aren't very heavy, but I do want to securely attach them to the ceiling. So let's go to Home Depot. Well, that's one of the cheapest Home Depot visits I've made in a while. All right, so I got the lights hanging from the ceiling properly. I got 3 of them on this row, 3 on this row, and then 2 of them right along the wall here, because the workbench is gonna be right here. So I wanna really light that up. Now I had all this stuff here. This was like lumber that got left over from the previous homeowner. I will probably move this someplace else because this is actually a useful thing to have. It's just I can't have it there because it's blocking all the light, and not a good place to do that. But give me a second. I'm going to show you how much of a difference it is brightness wise with these new lights. All right, right now they all kind of have just a little plug here, and I got the plug to the garage door open and unplugged right now because I actually ended up needing to have 2 outlets to use because I couldn't get it to stream properly. But look at the difference in here. Yeah, see, that's going to be a lot better working in here. There aren't any dark corners. It's really nice. Now, like I said, I still got to get up here and kind of string the cables up and get them out of the way. But I don't have a hammer right now, so I need to get that before I can do that. I also had to shorten the chain on these 2 closest to the garage door. Otherwise, the garage door gets kind of hung up on them as they go across. But we are getting close here. So I'm going to run home, get some more tools, and maybe get something to eat or whatever, and then we'll come back for tonight, and maybe we'll finish this up in the morning. Who knows? All right, so this is sort of the semi-final product. I had to secure the cables to the ceiling in maybe not the best way. I'm gonna have to redo that. But I had to get it out of the way of the garage door, and by the time I got that up there and realized it wasn't working very well, it was a little too late to go to Home Depot, so we'll deal with that. Like I said, tomorrow is moving day, so the priority right now is just that it works and that it stays out of the way of the garage door. I also had to adjust some of the pull chains on a few of these lights to make them really, really short, just because when the garage door goes up, if the chain is hanging down as much as it is like on this one, it'll get tangled up by the garage door and you probably pull the thing off the wall. So like I said, I had to shorten the chain on all these so that the garage door doesn't hit them when they go by. But other than this works really well. It lights up the garage really well, and I'm very happy with that. This is going to turn into a very effective workshop now. And so I think that is all that I have for tonight. I got to go to bed now so I can get up in the morning and move everything else I own into this place. So that's all that I have for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.